Hey guys, welcome to
When You Wish Upon a
podcast. And welcome to episode 11. We're only on 11 already. God dang, we've been doing this for, 2 months now, roughly?
Look, to be honest with you, I'm not going to complain.
I'm just saying that. It's like probably one of the
surprised
things
we reached episode 10.
last week.
Yeah.
With Aladdin. That's actually a pretty cool thing. We reached 10 for Aladdin.
We've reached episode 10 and we've reached kind of like a little movie milestone with that.
Hey, 10, man.
So, I'll take it.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is pretty cool. I think it's going to be...
Let's go to play Smashing.
So today's, guys, this is just a random episode, Disney news that I found, what's been talked about, or, anywhere anybody have heard Disney.
Might be shorter than usual.
Maybe, depends on if we don't get in a heated argument about something. Who knows? Because I do have one little heated argument that I'm kind of a little ticked about because I found it on a news thing that somebody did a review on.
Oh, God, I'm going to run for cover for this one.
You have nothing to say about it because... the review I'm talking about, you've never been, so
okay.
There's nothing that you could do.
Okay.
So, I know it's somebody else's review, but it's just to the point where it's just like, you know what? You guys are just all too dang picky with your food at Disney. I'm sorry, Disney's not actually a place that's considered a certain country's food place. I'm sorry.
A certain country's food place?
Well, they have all these restaurants, and even in Epcot, they have these restaurants, that are from different countries in them. Take for granted, you gotta realize, this is still a theme park. You're not gonna sit there and try to get a freaking whatever cuisine that you can actually get from that freaking country, like an actual authentic country. It's still considered an amusement park. Amusement parks food is majority of the time.
I treat most amusement-themed foods like I would like carnival style, almost.
Besides, you can get the exception with
Disney.
Disney.
Made, but it's kind of like poorly made.
Yeah. Unless you could get somebody that's from the actual country to cook for you, great. Like they do in Japan. Japan, they do.
Actual Japanese cuisine on the giant table, like fryer thing, making some hibachi.
Yeah. Well, then they do have that at Disney. Like they said, Disney's Japan Pavilion in Epcot is pretty much owned actually by Japan themselves.
That's
even their stores and their restaurants. So you're gonna get that, but. People don't understand. It's they're like, oh, this is going to be a bad restaurant because they can't just... People, you got to realize, it's not going to...
So what's the argument about?
Well, this guy went and did the Tony's restaurant in Town Square.
Tony's being the 50s style restaurant?
No, Tony's as being the Lady in a Tramp Tony's.
Oh, the
Italian styled restaurant. And I've ate there. I ate there on my last trip, on my solo trip. I enjoyed it immensely, but this person just went all ate crap on it. So it's okay, but you don't have to put it down so much just to make so people can't actually go. There might be actually people might just like it. People don't have the palate of a fine restaurant whatever reviewer to sit there and say, oh, blah blah blah, So
a fine restaurant reviewer, please, with a distaste.
Well, I'm talking about most people are not going to be like that. Most people are just going to eat and they call it good.
Gordon Ramsay doesn't hate those, everyone, Gordon Ramsay actually has where it's okay, this is decent, this is amazing, and this is shite.
Yeah. But the thing is, but also, too, it's just it's still a theme park, guys. They can't just go all around just focus on authentic Italian restaurant.
Yeah, no, but so it wasn't really much of a person acting like they know it all, be it all. It's someone with a decent palate, but they're picky.
Okay, so they did I guess some new stuff that was on the menu, which was, hey Albert, which was garlic parmesan wings from that restaurant.
Sounds like a bad concept.
Okay, I was cool for $11. That's an appetizer. Okay. All right. Well, he complained they were dry. Whatever, no taste to it, and then they served it with Italian dressing. Okay.
I can understand the Italian dressing because it would totally knock off the Parmesan and all that.
Probably. Well, this guy was just going it was cold. It was cold.
It was dry. So again, he was being picky.
But yeah, and then he said it shouldn't be cost $11, and I'm I want to look at it. It's you know what? technically all the restaurants at Disney have no one saying the prices. It's Disney itself. Like, you gotta go talk to Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, to do the prices, because all the restaurants and stuff all had a price hike all together. It wasn't just, certain things. So they have to follow their pricing the way Disney wants you to price. So it's not the restaurant's fault. And he was blaming the restaurant's fault, like, it shouldn't be $11. I'm sorry, but you can't control that. That's Disney's doing. Like, go talk to Bob Iger. Go complain to him about the prices, because...
Yeah, Mr. I sit on 66 million or 63 million or whatever.
And also, too, and I'm sitting here, like, looking at this person, like, and then they said, okay, then we tried their pizza again. I guess they tried it before and it sucked. They tried again to see if it... Still, they said it sucked. I'm sorry that it sucks to your opinion of a pizza, unless you're more of a palate for Pizza Hut pizza. I'm sorry you're not going to get that.
No, it's someone...
Because they did like a half garden and half...
It doesn't sound like constructive criticism, because again, even the...
And I'll say this to you too. You're saying like not constructive, and I will tell you this too. He went in with already having a low hopes for this restaurant because he already had it before, saying it was a bad restaurant before. So it's like he's already walking in saying, he's already thinking it's always going to be bad no matter what. Not giving it a chance.
No, I know, but it's
just, like when we said,
it's just like I said with Aladdin. If you're going in with low expectations, then you're doing it to fail from the start.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say, and that's what this guy did with the review. And then he tried the trio thing, which I did actually try when I was at Disney. This trio thing had fettuccine alfredo, spaghetti with one meatball. I don't know why one meatball, but yeah, the spaghetti with meatball, and then there's like a chicken parmesan thing. That's what I'm saying. Yes, I don't understand this. So I had that trio. Well, he was like, well, this is bad. The noodles were bad. The sauce made up for the Alfredo, and then the spaghetti was the same way. Blah blah blah, and the chicken was and I'm sitting here like I had no problems with it. And I'm sorry, and I'm not a very connoisseur of like, oh, I have a high palate. I didn't think it for being a theme park as it is. It was not bad food, and plus I got to try with that trio thing because that's their signature thing. I got to try everything, and plus that was the only time I actually had fettuccine alfredo, because I'm a very adamant on my fettuccine alfredo. I love my fettuccine alfredo from any Italian restaurant. And I didn't see it being bad. That three trio thing wasn't bad at all. I was like, awesome, cool. But this guy was just going all like, ate shit on it, and I'm just like...
Oh, there's the first swear of the day.
Oh, I'm sorry. But that kind of got me a little bit
no, that's understandable. It's just, I thought I was going to be the one that swore.
Well, that one was just kind of like, he kind of made me mad about it. And he already went in, and that's why I want to tell this review. You walked in already into that restaurant already dissing it before you even
the restaurant
trying
with a
the
negative
food.
Attitude. You didn't give it an honest review. Again, even good food critics, and I deem them good food critics, like, say Gordon Ramsay, or even better, when I was living in Connecticut, there's a local YouTuber known as Damon Patterson, or Dame Drops. Mm-hmm. He does food reviews from all over, including a majority of Connecticut. And he'll sit there and he'll do like live recording sessions of him there.
Right.
And he'll give you an open, unbiased review of the food.
Right.
Like, he'll give you...
Right.
And he'll say, okay, it's not my thing, but it may be yours.
Right.
See,
that's
an open, unbiased opinion.
Right.
Like,
that's what
he may not enjoy it. Yeah, he may not enjoy it. But that's not to say you might enjoy, you might not enjoy it.
See, that's what reviewers need to think about, especially if you're going into Disney.
Yeah,
Yes, you might have a high palate, but maybe the next person's not going to have that high palate and think that's really better than when I have eaten McDonald's at my small town, whatever. I'm saying?
It's, okay. Your version of palates is like this scale. Mm-hmm. It's really not. It's, everybody has a different palate.
Right, but I'm saying?
So, like, your taste of coffee is different than my taste of coffee.
Right.
Like, I need to add sweetener to make my coffee taste good. You don't. You just need the creamer. We have different wavelengths and taste buds to make all that possible. So this person's going under the impression that everybody has the same taste buds, the same palate, the same everything as him. So he's, or more or less, he's either doing that, or he's being selfish and only thinking of himself like an egotistical fuck.
Right.
Like, oh, I wouldn't enjoy it, so nobody enjoys it.
See, and that's why I get kind of irritated with some reviewers with stuff like that. It's like, yeah, especially for Disney, because, they have all kinds of stuff going on. But the thing is, not everybody's going to have that same food taste as you.
No.
And everybody might think, like I said, they might have thought Tony's was an awesome restaurant, like I did. But I don't have a high palate about food, you know? I'm very open about my food, you know? Right. But, you know, so it's like, you can't just assume that everybody's going to have your same food taste as you.
No.
Like I said, I thought the food was good at Tony's, and it was a really good atmosphere. I loved it. I got to eat out on a terrace, which was cool, and I got to watch a parade from where I was. So, you know, when I had mine. I enjoyed it. And plus, you know, I like the atmosphere of Lady and the Tramp. And I do like that movie. That movie is awesome. So I was like, I had nothing against it, but this person was just like I said, it kind of irritated because he walked in already dissonant from the first time he went. And he says it's the worst restaurant in Disney. Yeah, I doubt that, but you know.
There are even more worse restaurants than that.
But he's talking about in Disney. He's like, it's the worst one. It's never going to succeed.
Please.
I was like, if it has not succeed, why is it still open? That's
why
my thing.
Why is it still open? Why is it still up for business?
Right.
Why is it still, you know?
And people still go there for Italian restaurant, especially at Magic Kingdom going for Italian. So, you know, I don't know, but I enjoyed it, so I kind of got a little irritated with that reviewer, so I had to say something about it. Because, I mean, I could say something because I actually went to it, so. But anyways, in other news, for once in a lifetime here of this podcast, we're talking a lot about Star Wars and Marvel. All the news I have is based on those. So enjoy, guys. We're going to talk about stuff that I'm kind of not familiar with, but it's still going to be talked about because it's stuff that's been going around. So the first tidbit of news is that Keanu Reeves is going to join the Marvel Universe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be interesting. What is believed to be a role in the company's upcoming Eternals movie, which I have no idea what Eternals is, like, you know, for the comics or whatever they're, you know, discussing. I have no idea, but that's what he's about to be. According to the fan site, MCU Cosmic, it seems that negotiations are already underway between Reeves and the studios. In the report, it claims Reeves would be joining Angelina Jolie, Kamal Nanjiani, I don't know that name, and Richard Madden in the Eternals film, which will continue to expand the cosmic side of the franchise. So this is going to be like another space thing. What? Disney, not Disney? It's Disney, Albert!
Speaking of Disney, I've got one.
Disney, Star Wars, and maybe even Star Trek soon. If I read it, it's true. I don't know about the Star Trek. I haven't heard anything too much about that one yet. They haven't really.
Star Trek is owned by Fox.
So,
Fox
I don't know if they're
Disney.
going. But I don't know if they're going. You know.
Well, no, it would
like
make sense though, because if I do remember correctly, Star Trek is owned by 20th Century Fox, and Disney owns the right to 20th Century.
Well, I know,
Fox,
but I don't know
so.
if they're going to keep going with the. You know, I'm just saying the Star Trek franchise. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. They haven't really made a big announcement of it.
I do have news for those who are interested. For those who have a LinkedIn profile, you might want to have fun with this one. So Disney and LinkedIn have joined forces with this new hashtag I just can't wait to be contest to give one person a big chance to work the red carpet at the Lion King premiere and take their career to the next level. The lucky winner will receive a behind-the-scenes look on how to campaign for the Lion King is being brought to life at Walt Disney Studios headquarters in Los Angeles, California. Plus, they'll get a chance to interview the cast of the movie on the red carpet as a reporter for LinkedIn during the star-studded premiere of the new film. Eligible LinkedIn members can apply for the Disney Dream Experience, or Dream Disney Experience, until June 12th by creating and submitting a video from LinkedIn using the hashtag I just can't wait to be contest, explaining why they should win this experience and how it could benefit their career if they have one.
My career in podcasting.
It's a 2 minute. It's a 2-minute long video. It's just you and no one else.
Right.
And it must be your own original content, not copyrighted music, not copyrighted anything.
We have really much other copyright besides the news.
Yeah. Basically, it's just all you.
All right.
So
So, but anyways, back to the MCU. Cosmic didn't reveal that part Reeves might possibly be playing in their report. They also know that he has not yet signed on to be part of the franchise, as him and the studios are only in talks. However, it seems Marvel Studios is the one seeking Reeves to join the film. So I don't know what the Eternals is. I mean, if whoever's a Marvel fan might know what this is. It must be some comic thing that I did not know. But that's what talks is about, with Keanu Reeves possibly joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe with the Eternals. So I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know. In other news, there's this kid, and I thought this kid was awesome, and I wish I thought of it before he did, because we could be all set for Disney for August. and I told Dan that we should probably start doing to see if we can get that far.
Oh yeah, Isaiah Tuckett. This is an interesting one.
Teen sells $5,000 in cupcakes to take his family to Walt Disney World.
Basically as a birthday gift to himself.
Oh, from the...
Yeah. He celebrated his 14th birthday at the theme park with his parents.
And he's a Minnesota teen, so he's from Minnesota, people.
Yep. But yeah, it took a year of work, but after baking and selling thousands of cupcakes.
Isaiah Tuckett of Madison, Minnesota spent one year baking and selling approximately 3,500 cupcakes to raise around $5,000.
Thousands, I said.
No, 5,000.
I know.
But I'm reading the actual story.
Yeah, I have the same here.
But you said, yeah, but I'm saying that there was an exact number of cupcakes he sold and was 3,500.
I know. They're kind of like, It's Fox. What do you expect? It's Fox News giving...
I'm inside the magic. It just talks about Disney. So inside the magic Disney. Did he bring himself, his mother, father, sister, brother, sister-in-law, nephew, and uncle to Walt Disney World, the most magical place on earth. Tuckett has been baking since he was 7 years old. And the trip was already a celebration of his 14th birthday back on November 28th, 2018. In the past, Tuckett has asked his parents to go on a Disney vacation, but like many parents, Tuckett's would say no or tell him to ask a different time. Disney vacations can be expensive, especially for large groups. But Tuckett took matters into his own hands and found a way to make enough money to have a magical vacation with his whole family. When I was growing up, I always liked being in the kitchen, and I made them for my grandma's 85th birthday, Tuckett said, and the people really liked them, and they just asked if they could order them. So this is like just a start. Mm-hmm. For a year, Tuckett baked cupcakes for birthday parties, baby showers, graduations, weddings, funerals, and even high school prom. In 2018, he baked 750 cupcakes for 3 graduations. That's a lot of dang cupcakes for 3 graduations. It was something I always enjoyed, and I thought it would be a good way to raise money for the trip to Disney, he said. Tuckett's mother, Sherry, noted that her son has always had an interest in baking and helping out in the kitchen. He always wanted to go on a Disney vacation. Oh my God, I'm missing my phone. So once people began ordering his cupcakes, Sherry and her son had a conversation about how they could make the vacation actually come to life. I said, you know what, if that's something that you want to do, we would be willing to buy all the ingredients so that everything that you earn, your profits, could be put into a savings account to earn that trip, Sherry Tuckett. So they kind of, the family even like helped him, like she said, buy, the ingredients for him. Mm-hmm. So I was like, that's cool. At only 14 years old, Tuckett is an example to Disney fans and people all ages who have a goal in mind, being the goal of taking a Disney vacation or anything else they want to achieve. Just as Tuckett shows us, if you truly want to achieve something and you do everything you can to reach your goal, you may have actually end up achieving what you're set mind to. As for Tuckett himself, he shared that his next goal is to save enough money to purchase a blue pickup truck so he can deliver his cupcakes to customers and move his baking business forward. Way to go.
No, he got all the money to get all of this stuff and make money for the trip to Disney World. There's actually a tweet. Not a tweet, but a photo of him at Disney.
Yeah, the only money that he had was to go to the trip. His parents bought the ingredients for all his cupcakes. So they were like supporting him on that.
I wonder how much they spent over time to... Then again, it's over time.
Yeah, and this is like, what, a year? Yeah, a year's worth. So it's like a year's worth of saving up basically for him. But on top of that, if he, with ingredients, I could sit there and say, because we have these Sam's Clubs. I wouldn't be surprised if the parents went there and got big bulks of all like flour, sugar, whatever the big bulk stuff.
Yeah, you could get those for dirt cheap, like less than $100. You could get everything to make cupcakes for like a lot of cupcakes.
So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they went to a Sam's Club like that, or somewhere like kind of like a big or Costco or something, just to get all the ingredients. So, but over time, so it's not like we have to go to the grocery store every week or every 2 weeks, depending on how many he was making during the time, of what he was setting to. So I'm gonna sit there and say that kid was a very adamant kid, and I'm like, props to you, kid. That shows you that even the youngest kids know how to save. Have a goal and to save too. So
little entrepreneur.
Yeah, so it kind of gives me some hope for the younger generation, to do that.
Mm-hmm. Now I have a question for you, Lindsay.
What?
Would you pay $28 for a spork?
Are you trying to tell me this for a spork so it would be forky? Like, did somebody make it, or is it like a Disney-owned
thing? No, it's an actual
Disney-owned thing?
A Disney-owned thing. So Forky here is sold at Walmart for $28. His eyebrow.
Well, yeah, only eggs and milk don't stay good, so that's probably like the only thing they might have to like. But you gotta realize too, those things they might actually buy every week, because you can't really get those in bulk as much. And you gotta realize he uses them like consistently too. But yeah.
Yeah, $28 at Walmart. You can interchange his eyebrow, his mouth, twist around his arms.
So it's kind of like a Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, but he also talks, so you push a button on, or you push one of his toes down, like his stick figure toes down, and he talks. Mm-hmm. Says over 15 different phrases. Now, this is 28 at Walmart, 15 on Amazon.
Right.
But still, people are clamoring and complaining about, $15 for a spork with wire arms and feet.
Well, that's because those are the people that don't know Disney and don't understand. That's just them.
This one person is bitching and complaining, yeah. Like, sure, you could do it like Mr. Potato. And there's a switch that changes his expression from happy to frown again. But it's not worth it. Like, if you're going to do it, go and make your own version, technically. It's like, dude, really?
Yeah. Well, then I want to see your version and see if it's any better than the one from Disney or.
Although I do agree with him on this one aspect, there is a Forky outfit that looks like something the nightmares are made of.
Yeah, that one I would never buy. Maybe that Forky one that Walmart is selling and all them, that might be a possibility, but not that costume. That looks so scary-ish.
Right? It looks like a fork on a body.
Okay, Chris. So, I don't know. But like I said, I don't know, I might, but then again, I'm just like, if you realize all my stuff that I collect, I very rarely have anything Pixar related in this room. It's mostly actually Disney animation of some sort. So it'll be like a very rarity to get me a Pixar thing, but I wouldn't mind it. It's just a very, rare. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It could be a possibility. I don't know if I would actually, But, actually there's one little thing. So, does everybody know what D23 is?
Yes.
Well, I know you do, but I'm wondering if anybody in chat knows what D23 is, because I found out some people don't know what D23 is. So I'm going to see if anybody would actually answer me and tell me what D23 is without us knowing, because I know I've talked to you about D23. Okay, Chris doesn't know what D23 is. Does anybody else know what D23 is? Because it's be one thing I want to do. I know D12.
Okay, so for those who don't,
all right.
For those
who don't know what D23 is,
it's like a Disney Expo, basically.
It's like a Comic-Con for Disney.
Yeah.
Basically, where everything Disney comes and talks.
That goes for possible movie premieres in the future.
Yeah, movies that they have set in projects like, this is what's going to happen here. In the
Video games in the future.
Right.
Anything that involves Disney is pretty much laid out to everybody.
So it's a Disney Comic-Con. But it's not comics, but it's Disney Comic-Con. So if that's how they explain to anybody.
That's why I said it's a Disney Expo, basically.
Right.
It's a Disney convention.
It's in Anaheim, California, where Disneyland is based in.
Yeah.
And it's, when does it actually happen? I don't remember. It's like in August. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. It's right after our Disney trip, basically. August 23rd through the 25th.
Yeah.
So it's in Anaheim. It's August 23rd to the 25th. I would love to go to a Disney Expo thing. D23, I would love to go at least once in my life because that looks so much fun. I've seen people, talk about it and all that and sent pictures.
But yeah, no, they lay out everything from like.
But this year, it would be awesome to go, but I know it's not going to happen because of, money situation, because that's like too much of a trip, for, other things since our Disney trip in the beginning of August. But this year, they're doing a thing where it's called Heroes and Villains, the Art of Disney Costume. So, this year's D23 opens with an all-new exhibit. Walt Disney Archives presents Heroes and Villains, the Art of the Disney Costume. This new exhibit features costumes from the classic Mary Poppins and the recent live action of Aladdin, among others, with more than 70 costumes from Disney's 55-year history of film and television. That exhibit will be on display from August 23rd to the 25th at the Anaheim Convention Center during the expo. That would be awesome. I would love to go see that, because that would be like, you get to see all these costumes that happened and everything from Disney, and even from the live action Aladdin just now. Mm-hmm. When you enter the exhibit, you will immediately be transported into the world of Disney with Cinderella's Workshop, a gallery that will feature the iconic fairy tale characters' dresses from her numerous adaptations and incarnation, including 1997's Rodgers Hammerstein's Cinderella. And the one I watched, the one they're talking about, that one is the one I just had on DVD.
Albert, honey, we're not made of money.
Yeah. Good luck on that.
Yeah, we're not made of money. If we were, then sure, but we're not made of money.
And then they have the gown worn by Scarlett Johansson for Annie Leibovitz Disney's Dream Portrait series in 2007, 2014's Into the Woods, the stunning live-action dress from Lily James' Cinderella in 2015, and the dress from ABC6 fairy tale drama Once Upon a Time.
Tell that to the Cupcake Kid. It would take us. It would equally take us probably a year.
Yeah, if we're gonna do that, but I would love that to go see that. And I don't know if they'll keep it up every year. I don't know if it's just this year for it, but it would have been awesome to go to see that. The main gallery itself will be broken up into 3 sections that features Disney heroes, Disney villains, and spaces between, reserved for anti-heroes and somewhat exciting, complex characters that were found their way into our homes and hearts over the years. Some of the Disney Heroes costumes are from the 2017's Beauty and the Beast, the amazing colorful creation worn by Genie, Aladdin, and Jasmine in this year's newest live-action film, and for the first time ever, costumes from the original 1964 film Mary Poppins, as well as dresses from the 2019 movie and Broadway musical. This section that will showcase the iconic wardrobes is sure to be a favorite for D23 fans attending the expo. Maybe they even had some filed ones on, so I didn't pick, right? Oh, they even have the Enchanted Giselle wedding dress. Oh my God, that would be awesome. That's, if everybody doesn't know who Giselle is, it's from the movie Enchanted back in 2007. The second section, Disney Villains, will feature the trio of wickedly stylish dresses worn by the Sanderson sisters in the 1993 Halloween classic Hocus Pocus. That would have been awesome to go see the Sanderson sisters' dresses. Fans will also find the duo of dresses worn by the stepsisters in 2015 Cinderella. Fans can also see the dress worn by Bette Davis in 1978's Return from Witch Mountain. The third section, Spaces Between, will feature costumes from Maleficent, which will be prominently featured with a gown from the 2014 live-action feature, in addition to Regina, the Evil Queen's dress from Once Upon a Time, and Killian Jones' Hook ensemble will be on display as well. Many of the costumes on display will be featured in the Art of Disney's Costuming, Heroes and Villains, and Spaces Between. The new book will release in September with a special exclusive early release for D23 Expo attendees. So basically there's going to be a book come out, so that'd be awesome to go get is that book too. But it's probably best it would be awesome to go see it in person, like those costumes. So that sounds like an awesome thing, but it's like, timing-wise, just kind of sucked. It's like, really? Couldn't put it like maybe a little later, like in November. Give me another 2 months to work on money. Go sell like 3,500 cupcakes, you know? So there's that thing. That's actually kind of cool. I would love to go to that convention at some point in my life. That's probably one of my bucket list places to go, is the D23. All right, and here's some, like, if anybody's going to Disneyland or Disney World at any point from now until whenever, there is a little rule going on with this Galaxy's Edge thing at the parks. Found this kind of interesting. Put it on the calendar for next year. Might think about that. That might be an actual trip maybe for next year.
What, D23?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can go. We can go do that, and if you want to do that with us too, Albert, that's awesome too. Why you can't wear Star Wars costumes in Galaxy's Edge, including ones purchased in the land. So, like, if you purchase the costume in Galaxy's Edge, you can't wear them at any of the Galaxy's Edges. And I have no idea why, but I think when I heard that, I was like, "Are you serious?" I mean, how are we gonna put? I was like, it was one thing with Disney World itself, like where adults couldn't wear costumes as the Disney princess, you know, of all the characters, which made sense because you don't want to distract from the actual people that have the job that are getting paid for it, because you know all that. And the kids were fine dressing up as the characters because you know you can't tell the difference of the age, you know. So all Star Wars fans have been going out of their minds with all the new offerings premiering with the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. Yet, it seems as much as guests are immersed in the world of Star Wars in the land, they are not allowed to dress the part, and here's why. Technically, guests aged 14 years or younger are allowed to dress up as Ewoks, Kylo Ren, and Rey. However, anyone over this age is strictly forbidden, and for some, it does take away a little bit of the magic that comes with being transported to the edge of the galaxy and Black Spire outposts. Although we know it's for good reason. Okay, that makes more sense because they should have put that in. It's like for adults, not children. How hard was that instead of just putting down, oh, you just, like, no, it sounds like nobody can wear the costumes. And I'm like, well, then now all of a sudden you read the thing and it says, oh, it's the same rule as it is, you know, for everybody else. Like, 14 years younger can dress up as the characters, but, you know, adults can't. When it comes down to it, the Disney parks want guests to have the most fun and safe time possible when experiencing any of its themed lands, if I can English and read. And the only way to do this is to keep the identification of cast members as clear as possible. Okay, well, this just talks to me about, like, actual Disney, but the person that freaking just, I don't know, like, titled this thing on the Inside the Magic made it sound like nobody could wear the costumes. So I was like, okay, well, that just sounds like the typical rules that everybody has. Also, I know you don't think this does actually sounds Disney, but it actually is Disney. The Muppet movie is to return to select theaters to celebration of the 40th anniversary. And for most of you guys probably don't know, Jim Henson did give Disney the rights to all the Muppets. So from your Sesame Street to Kermit the Frog.
To the Dark Crystal.
Yeah, that's all Disney owned. Before Jim Henson passed away.
Heck, even Labyrinth.
Yeah, anything with the
David,
Muppets.
Yeah, even with
anything with Jim Henson basically is
those
Disney
don't know,
owned.
it's a movie with David Bowie, but it has a lot of Jim Henson puppets.
Yeah, but so any Jim Henson Muppets is, hey, Miss Cecil. But all that Jim Henson puppets are owned by Disney because Jim Henson did before he passed away. He gave all his rights to it. So even the Muppets actually do have a show or a ride at, didn't find it, but it's at Hollywood Studios, and I want to go find it. But they do have like their own little thing at Disney World. So, but yeah, a lot of people don't know that Jim Henson gave his rights up. And it was in that documentary of Walt Disney. He did give his rights up before he passed away.
Yes.
To Walt Disney himself, actually.
In today's financial Disney news, the stock for Disney is significantly rising. So bears and bulls, for those who don't know, are based on buyers, actually. So if you're a bear, you take your sweet, sweet time, find the right opportunity, and then buy big.
So you know what I'm saying? You're kind of saying it right now, because you were even predicting this before Aladdin came out, and now since Aladdin came out, the stocks have risen.
The stocks are rising
also, I should say this too, because of Galaxy's Edge just opened for Disneyland.
It's just like I predicted. So right now, Disney stocks are currently $136.60 and currently rising. It's about to reach the $140 per share mark, and it's going to its expected growth after Toy Story 4 is going to reach roughly $170.
Yeah.
So $170 per share. So if you are in the market, don't be a bear, be a bull. For those, again, who don't know, bears are basically slow buyers. They wait for the opportunity and then they buy big. If you're a bull, you go head fast, you go strong, you go right into it, you buy as many as you think you need at the time, even if it's just for the Disney name.
Right.
Buy now, wait until about September when all of this dies down. Maybe November the latest because of Frozen 2.
Disney only starts expanding the game.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
But wait.
Even more so now when 20th Century Fox is in the mix too now.
But if you are interested in playing the stock exchange, buy a couple shares now if you have the money for it. Wait until at least the end, like November, when Frozen 2 goes in.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably when it's going to hit its peak, I believe. Because right now, again, expected projections.
Well,
you don't know finance.
No.
Expected projections are going to increase significantly. Again, it's slowly getting up to the 140 mark. Their next is the $170 per share mark. Then, if it surpasses after, The Lion King and all of that, Toy Story 4. Its next projection is about $200.
I'm also thinking
it
might go up just a little bit higher too, because Galaxy Edge opens at Disney World in
exactly.
December.
So my guess is it's going to progress past the $200 per share mark by the end of November tops. If not, then maybe 180, 190 as a nice projection. Sell right around after maybe 2 weeks tops of Frozen 2, because that's when it's going to hit its peak, and then it's just going to decline from there throughout the
until whatever 2020 comes to be.
Until 2020's projections, movies, etc. Yeah. So if you're looking at it right now, we've just been bouncing back between $136.60. Some of it's rising, some of it's falling, but it's not. It's right within that nice median. So, if say someone like Albert here has $136 to just throw, he could buy a stock. He could buy two if he had the money for it. And by the end, just sit on it, wait, watch the market go, and when it hits over the 200 mark, sell. You're making, $80, $90 per as an extra.
Right. Well, there's another Star Wars tidbit.
Isn't it a contract? No, it's not a contract of 100 shares. If you go to like things like Yahoo or Acorns or whatever the hell it is, there's different investment shares. So you can buy 1 share, 5 shares, 10 shares, 20 shares, 50 shares, and 100 shares, and et cetera, et cetera. You can buy in increments. So it seems complicated, but it really isn't. But you don't have to actually have a contract with them. You're basically throwing money at them. They're not going to say no.
Right. If you're throwing money, they're going to keep that money. They're not going to.
Yeah, they're going to keep that money. So.
Yeah. But in other news with Star Wars, I found this kind of interesting because I was talking to somebody about this for some reason. I don't know who I was talking to about it with Star Wars, but it was this. But Ron Howard blames internet trolls for the failure of Solo, a Star Wars story, at box office.
No.
Yes, I could see it. When you get a lot of people sit there dissing the movie, people are not going to go. And
Have you seen Solo?
No, I have not. And people actually said it was actually pretty good. I know somebody was telling me about it because they actually... Oh, my cousin did. We were discussing this. And it's because everybody was so much dissing it that a lot of people didn't go, or that they had the mindset, like I told you, of the, you know, the whole like, oh, that was bad, bad, bad.
Or well, no, but there's a difference between Solo, the Star Wars, and Sonic. So people basically expected the Han Solo movie to fail, and they made so many memes around it.
This is why the reason why Ron Howard's making a big deal of this, because he was the director of this movie. Mm-hmm. He said replacing Phil Lord and Chris Miller. However, in recent podcasts, Howard reveals that he didn't think people on the internet would be putting down the film prior to even seeing it. So people were putting it down before they even saw it.
Just like Mr. Restaurant Man, putting your expectations low.
And same with people with Aladdin. This new live action Aladdin, they're putting people down because it's, oh my god, it's not Robin Williams' genie, we're going to put it down, blah, 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 blah. You know, so it's like the same thing. On a recent Happy, Sad, Confused podcast episode, Howard looked back on Solo and the mixed reception that film got, both at the box office and with the fans. In the interview, Howard discussed the trolling the film suffered, from which he says became aggressive and could have been a part of why the film performed so poorly at the box office.
Right. But there's a difference, though.
For those who don't remember, Solo: A Star Wars Story was the worst performing Star Wars film of all time. In fact, it did so badly, Lucasfilm decided to put the brakes on future Star Wars spin-offs and redirected perspective to TV with a series on upcoming Disney Plus streaming service, The Mandalorian. During the podcast, when referencing the performance of the film, Howard went on to say that he thinks some of the pushback on the film came from the previous movie, which he thinks some fans were too nostalgic for. So, and I can see that too. That's why I said that's what happened with Aladdin. I know Aladdin did get successful, but but people were like making bad things about the movie before it came out, but they weren't not as aggressive as these Star Wars fans, whoever this is.
Real quick though, the difference between that, what she's discussing, and Sonic is the director of Sonic honestly took all that trolling and criticism and flipped the script on and says, all right, fine. You don't like how I visioned it? Okay, it's going to be delayed until, next year now because of you guys.
Yeah, because you guys are...
However, we're going to make it to the way you like it. And if you make it flop, then that's on fucking you.
See, that's what I'm saying. Why can't directors or whoever, because
everybody memed the whole Sonic thing because it doesn't look like their version of Sonic and and the guy's like, all right, fine. Like, literally, you just fucking...
Yeah,
fine. I'll talk to Sega. I'll talk to Paramount. I'll have them chew me a new fucking asshole. We'll add more of the budget. We'll change the way I envision Sonic to the way y'all want to see Sonic. And if the movie flops after all we've done for you guys, then it's your own fucking fault.
See, why can't Disney be like that douche? But I mean, he's not douche, but that guy anyways, because god damn it. Because Disney's a freaking pussy with that.
Yeah, because he literally is like, fuck it. Like, literally just like, fuck it. All right, fine. I'll bend your will. But if it flops and they're getting mad and y'all getting mad, it's your own fucking fault. You made it happen.
But like I said, why can't Disney put...
Because Disney's a bunch of conservative pussies. Because they're standing there with their lawyers, but again, they're afraid to make a move. They have so many lawyers in there that they have like a little fucking mini army of just like Jewish people going, we're ready, boss. We're ready, boss. Tell us what to do, boss.
But that's what I'm saying. I like that director for whatever, because it's like, okay, fine, we're going to take your whatever, but if it doesn't do well in the theaters, it's on you. Don't blame me. Don't blame the Paramount. Don't blame Sega. Don't blame anybody else besides yourself, because you're the ones that are like whining and complaining about it. I'm like, Disney needs to start standing up and be like, we're doing it the way I want to do it.
Disney used to be like that.
With Walt Disney himself.
Not only with Walt, but with Roy and with Bob Eisner.
Yeah, with Eisner.
Not Iger, but
Eisner.
Yes, Eisner. The man who made Disney thrive throughout the 90s, because they all had the same mentality.
Yeah, the 80s and 90s. 2000s.
But they all had the same mentality. If you don't fucking like it, don't fucking see it.
More or less, I wish everyone would get that thinking of Walt Disney himself. Envision what he said. If you actually heard what he did...
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
And that's where the hate begins. Is it because you don't understand it? You choose to be simple-minded instead of open-minded.
Right.
You know, it's going to lead to that like just progressive like. And I take it that's.
But so. I don't know. I'm getting to the point where it's just like people need to just shut up about stuff and just let it,
but at the same time,
let it go and be like, hey, this is a creative thing. It actually might be good. For once, okay, I'm sorry with the Sonic one, it's like he looks like an actual hedgehog in real life.
That's what I was getting at. Like
I'm
a huge Sonic fan. I've grown up with Sonic ever since I was a kid, since its inception in 1991.
Right.
All right, for the Sega Genesis. I've not had no arguments, no qualms, no quarrels. I played all the Sonics, even the most fucking hated Sonic 06. And yes, it was really bad. However, taking a look at the movie and seeing it from a different point of view instead of, that's not my Sonic, he actually looks like an actual hedgehog. Compare him to a lifelike hedgehog. You did a pretty spot on job. Yeah, that's what the director did. He intentionally made it because it's Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, how do we bring Sonic into the real world? He's not cartoony.
Right.
So we have to make him more realistic. So how do I make him more realistic? Make him look like a real life hedgehog. At least give him the same facial features as an actual hedgehog almost. But keep the core body of Sonic.
Right.
But more, I guess, more human.
And that's what's going to make me kind of think, there's like, how the hell are they going to do this? Because they probably had the movie already done and whatnot.
Yeah, they had it all done. It was set for November.
Right.
And since so many people trolled and piss-anted on it and got, this is not my Sonic. Oh, take a look at this laughing stuff. Jim Carrey's supposed to really want to make this movie interesting.
But also, I did not like how they did this, too. It's like, somebody sit there and said, because somebody did a Photoshop thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, there's the Sonic that the director thought, and then there's, like, somebody said, creation's like, all these people have these billions of dollars, they can't make, and this person, when he had Photoshop, for one, and could do a better job than the freaking studios that have millions of dollars.
Yeah, no. That's what I found hilarious is people forget, all right? People forget one thing.
Right. That's all I get.
And I know, I read that.
Yeah, I know.
People forget one thing. People who have done the Photoshop have only done, what? At most, the trailer version.
Right.
Or a stilled image.
Right. Well, whatever.
There was one man who literally did the entire trailer, who redid the entire trailer through Photoshop, spent meticulously, I think, like 4 days on it. But even then, that's 4 days.
Right.
That's time wasted. And if you were a worker of animation, that's money.
Right. But that's what to say. But I hate when people just do that. It's just come on.
Well, no. But again, they don't understand because again, they're all simple-minded. They're not expanding. Yeah. Hold on. They're not expanding their mindsets to where it's like, okay, it takes maybe 20, 30 people of an animation studios to create this because they're not all working on this one project. They're all working on multiple different projects
like I said,
of the movie. So,
but think about this too.
You're cutting me off.
Yeah, but you're not letting me talk too because I'm
talking, and I've let you speak. Now it's my turn to speak. So I'm gonna pull up at you. Let me speak.
Well, you do it all the time, and I'm starting to get off of it, but I'm like,
I know. So now I've actually had a moment to speak. Okay. So, Cubicle Man in A here is doing, like frames 1 through whatever, like 100, let's say, of this animation, and so in B is doing 101 through fucking 306. It's not the same. It's not like 20, 30 people are working on the same damn project. It's going to cost you thousands, if not millions of dollars, depending on how long the animation takes, how long the process takes, how many people are working, etc., etc., etc. So those stupid, simple-minded people are just going to sit there and bitch like, oh, I could do it in my blah, 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 blah. It's like, all right, spend fucking 2 years doing this then. Frame by frame, hour by hour, and not expect to get paid. And saying, and also not only that, but by going by Paramount Pictures' direction, Sega's direction, and the director's direction of how the character should go and the story. You know? They're not thinking that. They're just whining and bitching because it's not their Sonic. Just like it's not their Robin Williams. Not their this, not their... Stop bitching, shut the fuck up, and just enjoy it.
What I was actually saying too, but they don't obviously know. You remember why we discussed this when we were talking about the Silver Age of Disney, is you don't know all those workers are working on 2 projects at once. So like they're working on Sonic, and then they could be working on, let's say, like probably like the next Pokemon movie, just out of nowhere, you know? Those animators could be working on 2 projects at once, so they have to have 2 separate minds of what's going on. They don't understand that either. That most of these like animation, even in Disney, I'm guaranteeing most of those animators are not just working on, let's just say, for example, Frozen 2 right now, but they're also working on Onward. Mm-hmm. You know, I know they showed trailers already for them and stuff like that, but you know, they could be working on 2 different movies at the same time.
Yeah.
So people don't understand that either, because yeah, I know not one person's on one thing. There's like different people on different things, but you're also too. They don't know what other projects are working on at the same time. So they have to have the mindset of, okay, this time is Sonic's time. Okay, oh wait, afternoon is now
this project.
Pokemon now, you know? So it's like they're split. Some people don't understand that either, because a lot of times, especially like Disney's probably one of the main ones, they're probably working on all kinds of animation right now all at once. You know? They probably have 3 or 4 going on right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what it
literally
is.
What they're doing. But
they can't control that.
Yeah, exactly. But
it's not their thing.
It's their job. They get paid to do what to do and when to do it.
Right, and that's
so
how I see it
when
too.
people sit there and bitch and complain about, oh, I could easily then you know what, you fucking do it.
So then you go get a job there and say, hey,
you get a
talk
job
to them and say I could do better than you did, and look
exactly.
how long you can work with that.
Exactly, you get a job there. You literally get a job there, and then you tell the animators, hey, I could do better than you, only to be told by the director, Paramount Studios, and Sega themselves to, hey, that's not how we envision it, bitch. Do it our way or you're fired.
Right.
Basically.
So, but anyways, other news is there was a teaser trailer for a new Pixar movie that's coming out pretty soon, which I think is next year.
Called Onward.
Onward, and it looks very, very great. Really, it looks awesome. Actually, I think I will enjoy this movie as a Pixar movie. It's kind of cute. It's set in like a fairy tale land with all these different mythical creatures. So like your unicorns, your goblins,
your dragons, your fairies, your
whatever,
gnomes.
but they all live in this one like community type, like kind of like a town of their own. So it's kind of like Monsters Incorporated, but with mythical creatures, basically.
Yeah.
So basically, is what it is. But it does have Chris Pratt in it. He's the voice of the older brother of the thing, and there's other people. There's a lot of big people named people in here. I can't remember, but that's the one I don't know why stuck in my brain. But everybody knows.
It's like a minute long or so, minute and a half teaser trailer.
But it looks freaking awesome, and it got me laughing. It got Dan laughing. I think I'm excited for this one to come out as the next Pixar, besides Toy Story 4, because that's the next one. But as if that's
the next. When unicorns alone are like, wait, did you leave the trash open? And all of a sudden he's like, ah! And sees like 2 unicorns digging through the trash and just
kind of like raccoons.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
2 sea unicorns acting all like.
So
what the fuck?
but it looks really, and also it's so funny. The brother makes exaggerations. We're going on a quest, and the younger brother's like, we're just running some errands. Why?
Yes.
And it's a cool quest.
It's like, dude, it's just small errands. Yes, an epic quest.
And that's what they leave you off with. So, but that's all I can tell you. That why seeing what it is, it looks like we're dealing with mythical creatures in their own land, kind of like Monsters Incorporated, which they have their own town doing stuff, you know, and each creature's part of something, or is something to what we would expect today in our society of stuff, but with mythical creatures.
Okay, I have an honest question.
Okay, what's the honest question?
Because I don't know how long you want to stay on, but...
Well, I was going to go up until it feels like we're dying down. Unless people have some questions too, but, I mean, you asked me questions.
It kind of feels like we're dying down. So the only honest question...
But I mean, if anybody else has a question they want to ask, they can ask it.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good time to ask you guys to ask a question if you want to be asked.
I have a general question.
Okay, we'll start with yours.
Before Toy Story 4 even hits the movie theaters,
Which is 2 weeks.
Which is 2 weeks from now.
No, 2 weeks tomorrow. Friday.
Oh, Friday, okay.
So tomorrow will be 2 weeks until the movie comes out.
So, roughly about 2 weeks.
No, it's going to be 2 weeks.
Okay,
so
so 2 weeks from tomorrow, do you think...
So we'll see it on Monday, guys, by the way. FYI, sorry.
Do you think there will be a potential Toy Story 5 then?
Yeah, it depends on how well this one's going to go. I think they have it like they're doing the teasing, like, oh, we're going to do it.
Thank you!
I'm sorry!
Thank you! I deal with that every chance I get when she's not working.
But I'm thinking like it's in the works right now, kind of like in like this hanging limbo thing right now, and just to see how successful Toy Story 4 is and how people are accepting Toy Story 4. Because right now everybody's still kind of skeptical, like, dude, Toy Story 3 was a good ending. Why are you adding, an extra Toy Story? Like you're trying too hard to keep the franchise going. You know what I'm saying? So I think right now they're doing this like dangling with with the a fishing pole with a worm sitting there saying, let's see if we could get Toy Story 5 or not. Tommy's called it.
Yeah, no, it may be, he may think it's done.
But it's probably
It's really up to Disney. Me personally,
they can have and also too, Albert, they can have movies done, but necessarily mean they're ever going to show it.
Yeah, case in point, there was a Monsters Incorporated sequel that was supposed to happen where
we see, I think, Boo.
Yeah, they go into Boo's room only to find an elderly woman, and they look for Boo, and in the end they never find her, only to find out towards the end of the movie that the elderly woman that was in the room was Boo. She's aged over the years, etc., etc.
Right.
But that sequel never came to be. So,
and I think there's been a lot of sequels for a lot of movies, but they just either they were too afraid to do it or that it wasn't perceived well.
I honestly want to say yes to there possibly being a Toy Story 5. And at the same time, a huge no. Yes, on the aspect of now these are the Bonnie chapters. The Andy chapter is over after the first 3, so they might do kind of like a Star Wars almost, but with Toy Story up until they feel like it's going to die.
Right. Or that unless they're going to keep it going like with different kids, like I'm saying, like how they did with Andy, he got older, and then Bonnie's going to get older, she's going to give it to whoever, exactly. I don't know, but
And the other reason I think yes is possible cash grab, because it's Disney.
And since there's Toy Story Land now and Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, you kind of beat the dead horse to see if it still has life.
Right. Well, and you gotta realize that's like the first Disney Pixar movie ever happening with Disney, and that was in the 90s. That was when it premiered.
Yeah.
So
the only main reason I say no to the idea is because maybe the Bonnie chapter is their official end. Like, Andy gave it away,
But that's what I'm saying too. But
now a kid owns them. This is her adventure. This is her chapter. That's where it ends, because then so and so forth. The cycle continues.
It could continue if they wanted to, but they may or may not do it.
Yeah. So it really does hang in the balance. There's a lot of yes. There's a lot of leaning towards the yes, but there's also that. There might not be, so it's kind of like it's really.
Well, like
teetering.
I said too, they can always have movies done, but then necessarily they're never ever going to show it.
I do have one more question outside of that, and again, we've discussed this while watching Aladdin. Mm-hmm. For those who have watched the newest Aladdin,
the
live action, do you think there would be a Return of Jafar? And I think there could be a possibility. I'm not saying...
I doubt it, because the way how they ended it, in the live action, made it sound like it couldn't. Because, even with the Return of Jafar, Genie was still blue. He still had some magic with him.
Yeah, no.
So that kind of made no sense to me. Because, it's animation, it's going to be animation. whatever, it's animation.
Yeah, it will.
But,
yeah,
but for the live action way it's going to go, I don't see it because the peddler is still the peddler, all that.
Genie became the peddler in a sense.
But you know what I'm saying.
Powers.
That's what I'm trying to say. He's a peddler now. He's a peddler. We don't know his name now. They don't give us a name, so I'm calling him the peddler because that's going to be his name now because they don't give him an official name. Like, oh, this is
fair enough.
So
I think there could be a premise instead of saying, like how they did it in The Return of Jafar, how all of a sudden Iago escapes from the lamp and all that jazz. No, I think there's a different premise where someone else finds the lamp, they rub it, and then Jafar.
But also too,
being off.
Okay. Also too, I'm gonna say this: there's a kind of a big understanding plot hole or whatever in the actual Return of Jafar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at the end of the movie, you have Aladdin. Both Aladdins, they say, you go to the Cave of Wonders to chill you out.
Yeah, no,
but in the Return of Jafar, for some reason, the person that finds the lamp finds it in the well.
Yeah, which makes no sense.
So that's where it's kind of like a plot, like what the fuck.
But
why can we go back to Cave of Wonders?
The other inconsistency in, like you said, both Aladdins was there is no Cave of Wonders. Once it closed, it was never to be opened again. The diamond in the rough fucked it up.
Possibly, unless it's whatever, unless there's something else that hits it. But that's what I'm trying to say.
Well, no,
but I don't understand the consistency why we were saying, oh, let's put you in the Cave of Wonders, but it's like, but like I said, even in the animation Return to Jafar, the person found him in a well.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
But like because
I could see in the animation it could happen again because it was the scarab. That scarab could still be around and you could find that. Now I can see in the live action because there was no reason how the heck that Cave of Wonders came to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like every scene we see with the Cave of Wonders with the big tiger head,
sure.
It's there. It's like oh, I'm here. Hi. But
fair enough.
So I don't know how they. Maybe, open it,
Well, no, but my thought was...
They never give us the idea, like, saying, how did you open this Cave of Wonders, Why, because, like, in the animation, they gave you the scarab.
I kind of had an idea for that, actually. It was just, like, a random thief out in the desert, pretty much going apeshit crazy because he's been in the desert for so long. Randomly finds a lamp, the dark lamp, where the Cave of Wonders would have been. Since it's closed out, etc., and then they find Jafar, and Jafar pretty much kind of like seals the deal, like, hey, instead of having one genie, why not have two?
No. There wasn't. Not in the live action, there wasn't.
No. It was
like he was there, it's like only the
diamond in the rough can enter.
Blah, 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 yeah.
So, but no, I honestly think that there could be a sequel.
I don't see how well.
I see it, but again, the only plot twist that it seems, the only plot twist that seems feasible.
The thing is, I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to do sequels for live action. I don't see Disney doing that.
I don't know.
I really, 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 really don't see it at all.
Oh, maybe it's just me though.
Because for one, yes, you got the sequel. Then let's turn around. Let's talk about Aladdin, the King of Thieves, the third movie. Genie looks like he has all his powers back. That makes no dang sense.
Well, no, there's a lot of inconsistencies.
So, but I'm just saying, All
right. I leave the rest to you then. Oh, no, it's not like I'm not agreeing with you or disagreeing with you. Coffee went right through me. I'll talk in the chat now.
Wow, okay. But also, I just don't think sequels are going to do well with live action. I think they're going to be more set for just the original itself because that's where everybody actually wants to watch. Because if anything, if they're going to do sequels, there's a lot of sequels that are already out with certain ones that they've already done with live action. Just don't see it actually happening. Because I don't think it's a big cash grab as is versus as doing it with the original movie itself. Because that was your first cash grab. But people just did the sequel. It's kind of like what you say with Toy Story. They're going to sit there and try to milk that franchise to how far they can go with it. So if like the sequel doesn't do well and it just kind of goes, they're not going to do anything with it. So, But other than that, that's how I see with like sequels on live action. That's not going to probably possibly happen. But I also want to see a lot of live action stuff happen with certain movies. Like, for example, I want to see how they would perceive Tarzan. That might be interesting of a live action to see. I know other people have done like kind of like almost like the live adaptation, but I want to see Disney's version of Tarzan come to life. Because I think that would be an interesting thing to have somebody play. But that's my opinion, so. But anyways, I think we're pretty much done with this podcast. There's not much else to talk about. I did the news, what I got the news, and stuff that's coming out. Here in a couple weeks, we'll talk. Right? Let's just recreate Song of the South. That's great, and just like kick everything out of it. Pretty much, there's no Song of the South. No, they won't do that. Because they pretty much get rid of the basis of the movie and there won't be a movie. It'll be just a stupid movie. That's what that's going to be like with the Song of the South. And technically it's already live action as it is anyways. It's part live action and part animation, mostly live action than animation. So I doubt that they're ever going to recreate Song of the South without it totally ruining the premises of that movie. No. And if they even do, I will sit there and boycott that. If they're going to sit there and boycott the original, I'll boycott the freaking remake. That makes it stupid. And also, guys, happy Pride Month, too. This is the month for the LGBTQ, I don't know, all that letters. But happy Pride Month. Disney has done some stuff with Pride. They've had all kinds of recreations at Disney World for, like, you got rainbow ears, everything rainbow. It's so pretty. Kind of wish we were going to Disney during this month. But also happy Pride Month. So, also, people have been actually talking about it, too, and I've been seeing this in my Disney group, that people are saying, hey, who all wants a gay prince or princess? And a lot of people are liking that, and even and then people are doing transgender too. They're asking for a transgender princess. I'm like, you know what? I'm thinking it's time to do it. But I guarantee you what, Disney's not going to do it because they're going to be those groups that are going to be like, no.
Yeah,
and they're going to listen
the
to those
majority is going
groups.
to be like, why can't it be our brr.
What we need to do is put ourselves in positions to be able to do all these trips. And that's fine. Yeah, I know. It's just like I don't know a whole lot of it because I only see what people have gone already to, Disney this month. And, and I know it's Pride Month. Yes, and everybody's saying it outside of people being at Disney.
Albert, come live with us then. Then we could all take the trips together.
Oh, also, Albert, we need to talk to you after this podcast.
Well, you can.
Well, both talk.
No, I can't. I have to keep updated with all the things like the Stadia thing that's going on right now, et cetera, for the podcast. You forget, I still have to keep all...
I'm sorry.
It's nothing against you, it's just, for
anyways...
those who don't know, I'm going to be on the Taco Cast, so...
Well, that's at the end of this month anyways.
No, it is. It's in June. It's at the end, but I have to keep up with...
I know, I said the end of this month.
Yeah, I have to keep relevant with all the...
I don't know, Albert. That's what Dan's saying. I don't know. He probably wants to...
No, it's not. It doesn't change our financial situation. It doesn't change our financial situation. It makes it easier, though, for all of us to go on trips together.
Yeah, whatever.
Instead of, waiting at a specific place to pick someone up or whatever. Speaking of, that's why you wanted to talk.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I need to talk to you, Albert, after this podcast. Once I end up, can you give me a call after the podcast?
Or at least shoot a text.
Or something. It's pretty much, I'd rather talk than give a text, so.
Alright.
But anyways, that's it for this podcast, so we will see you guys all next Thursday with more Disney news. If not, I keep saying this, but if it doesn't happen with Disney news, if there's not too much going on, like anything huge, we'll try to start the Dark Ages and learn about the movies in the Dark Ages.
Until then, bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye, guys.